What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? It's the one and only Seth, motherfucking Doty, coming at you with another video. Anyways, today, guys, I just want to talk about being real. Being real and self-worth. So being real, guys, isn't always speaking what you feel. It's not always speaking what's exactly on your mind. But being real, guys, is understanding. That's what it is. It's not necessarily agreeing, it's understanding. And let me elaborate. So for an instance, if it's like someone who is bothering you, right? And you don't always speak up when that person is bothering you, but you kind of sit back and you observe the situation. You try to maybe give them the benefit of the doubt, but you're just curious. You try to figure out. So therefore, you start to ask questions. And then when that person starts giving you answers to the questions that you're asking, then you can kind of evaluate things, put two and two together, and then you pretty much speak on that situation. And therefore, you're understanding that person because now you really know why that person is doing what they're doing, and you have that understanding, suppose, of just lashing out to that person whenever that person is doing something wrong to you. And I feel like that's the biggest problem, because a lot of times we want people to keep it real with us, but when they give us an answer, we don't think they're being real. But in reality, to them, they're being real because pretty much they're speaking on how they feel. But you, on the other hand, aren't willing to understand that. So with that being said, you need to ask the right type of questions so therefore you can get a better understanding. Now, there are some times those people, they won't answer the questions if you ask them. They'll kind of try to dance around them because sometimes those people are afraid of conflict. They're afraid to deal with what's really bothering them. And those type of people that are afraid to deal with what's really bothering them, they're very hard to communicate. They're very hard to predict because you never know what exactly they're feeling. You don't know right then and there in that moment if that person is being genuine or not. So at the same time, you question everything and you get mad at them when, you don't think they're being correct, they're not coming correct. So that's why you have to ask more questions. And that's why understanding is what's being real, because you're fully getting that person, you're fully understanding. And I know there's times where you won't be able to understand that person because what they're saying won't make sense to you. But it's not always about making sense, guys. It's about understanding. And if you can't come to that acknowledgement, you can't seem to be on the same page with that person, meaning whatever they're telling you think's bullshit, then you need to detach yourself from that situation and don't buck with that person anymore. And I guess just fuck with people who are going to keep it 100, meaning people who you can really vibe with, you really understand. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like once you really understand that person, then you'll be able to vibe with them better and you'll learn what's real and what's not real, because speaking what's on your mind all the time isn't always real. Sometimes people can just, say bullshit just to, butter you up. Or sometimes we want people to be real with us, but we want them to be real with us, which makes sense to us, which that's not reality. People aren't always going to be real with you. That's going to make sense to you. And that's why I talk about understanding. As soon as you remove your ego and come from a place of wanting to understand instead of figuring out what's right and wrong and what's real and fake, I feel like you'll have better relationships with people. Now, my other topic I want to talk about is meeting people where they're at. If you're someone that's always initiating contact first, always being the one to reach out, such as text, other verbal conversations, or physical, attraction towards someone, stop. Especially if they're not the one doing it back. If you're always the one doing it first. Because once you do that, guys, you meet them where they're at, it's going to make them, if they actually give a shit, it's going to give them more of a sense of urgency, and they're going to learn to appreciate you more if you do that. But if you're constantly, at their feet, constantly at their fingertips, then they know they got you right where they're at. That's why a lot of times they won't hit you back because they'll know that you're going to be the one to hit them back. That's why they won't be the first to initiate contact, whether it's sexual, because they know you're going to be the one to do that. That's why when it comes to words of affirmation, they won't do that first because they know you're the one that's going to do that. And the thing about that is that they know you're into it more than they are. So it's a lot harder for you to stop doing what you're doing than it is for them, because to them it's like, you know what I'm saying, you're just like another, pretty much you're in their back pocket. You know what I'm saying? They like the feeling of you. And that's something that I had to learn. I had to learn to pull back. I had to learn to treat women the way that they treated me. You know, and my last relationship, towards the end, I had to, you know, stop being a nice guy. I had to stop with all this words of affirmation shit with her, because she wasn't giving it to me, so why am I going to give it to her? And then finally, when I pulled back and I gave her a taste of her own medicine, you know, it started to, you know, get her attention. And, you know, I ended up leaving her because she just was very toxic, and I just didn't want to put up with it anymore. So you have to learn to do that, guys. You have to learn to just take a step back. You too, girls. You know, if you got a guy that really cares about you, really likes you, and you're the one that's always doing everything first, and he's just kind of like, oh, okay, like that's bullshit. Because you want to be around people that actually want to fuck with you. You want to be around people that still get those same sensations in their body when y'all first met. Like, I don't care what anybody says. That honeymoon stage, y'all should still have feelings for each other like y'all first met, and feelings should be even more and more and more growing towards each other. Feelings should grow even more towards each other, guys. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Because in a lot of relationships, you know, people just fall apart. They just grow apart from each other. You know, you got one person that's putting in a lot of effort, and you have another person that's just going for the ride of it because they like the feeling of that person. They like the fact that this person gives them company. This person boosts their ego. They know with this person, they can run shit. That they can tell this person whatever the fuck they want, talk to them however the fuck they want, and this person won't leave. Because this person over here, this person right here, has this person over here being their bitch. And they know what to say to them to be able to get things out of them. And it's a type of narcissistic behavior too as well. It's a type of love bombing that occurs in a lot of relationships, especially in the beginning stage. But yeah, man, just stop over pursuing. You know, I know if there's a girl that you really, really, really like, and you're always the one texting her first, but she's just like taking she's taking at least 5 to 8 hours to respond, or hitting you back a couple other days. Stop. You too, girls. If there's a guy that you really like that's taking hours to like days to respond, then leave. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't care what anybody says. I know people are too busy to be texting back and forth all day, every day. I get it. I understand. But if somebody really wants to fuck with you, someone really wants your attention, they're going to make time for you. No lies, no excuses. They're going to vibe with you. Trust me. It's just not that hard. If y'all are both busy individuals, set a time and date where y'all are going to hang out. Anyways, guys, I love y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this video.